my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it, I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first step in searching to be nothing less than be the best in what you do to prove their strength in being you. Learn so much in chasing dreams that I never would in school. Depends on where your passion lie, just no passion never lie. Life presents distractions, but your actions have to fortify the things that you believe in. Have to scream it like a battle cry and leave the ones who didn't looking stupid while they're asking why. Couldn't lie, I really do this for the ones I love. Those who treat the music as a vice and lyrics like a drug. Those who need advice on how to lift their spirit high enough to break out of the box they make up lives they know aren't good enough. Just because it's how it is don't mean it's how it has to be. This is what the uninspired testifiers fail to see. Jealousy results from being that which others fail to be, and if it means you're not with me, that honestly sounds fair to me.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
Do this for my mother, she'll be working for the summer. Do this for my father, cause these days I often wonder what my life would have been like if I was not adopted. To grow up in a home where I was treated like a problem. I don't know, it's just a guess. Your guess probably good as mine. Lucky that I grew up in a home that wanted me to shine. Lucky that I grew up around some mountains we were taught to climb. Without that inspiration, I don't think that this would be my life. Do this for my friends who've scattered all across the country now. I'm out in Sweden walking back through life so I can write it down. Make a living off the sound, so crazy to say out loud. I'm the biggest thing since Travis Rice to come up out the town. Sorry, gotta stunt a little. Used to have my dreams belittled, but it's all a part of it. I know people's minds are fickle, lines between reality and dreams I blur like faded nights. Come up been so good for me, I wish that I could make it twice.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
Oh, yes, y'all. Shout out to my pops. I do this for you, man. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I know the show's starting. It is the opening day of the NFL season. Everybody's excited. They want to go watch some professional crybabies play it out on the field. It's amazing. You guys know I don't give a flying flip about the NFL. I'm going to watch the game, but please stop asking me about it because it's not how I get down. Before I jump into the show and everything we're doing, I want to tell you guys something really important. My daughter Forever is down here in the chat on TikTok. Shout out to her. I don't talk to anyone on TikTok during the show. No questions will be answered during the show from people on TikTok. You must go to the link. Go join us on YouTube. I get paid from YouTube. You put your question in, get it in as early as possible. I will eventually get to it. I start talking for the first 20, 30 minutes. I do my monologue, and then I answer as many questions as I can, cap the show at 2 hours. This is what we do every night, y'all. Tonight is SEC. I'm wearing my favorite team shirt. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs. 3-peat, let's go. So, yeah, we're going to get after it. We're going to be talking SEC, but before we do, we got to cover everything else. Special shout out to my daughter Forever. She is a basketball player. She'll cross you over, take you to the rim. It's what she does. Let's go. Shout out to her. Love you so much, sweetie. Lions and Chiefs are playing tonight. Once again, don't care. Want to see the Lions win this game just because everybody thinks they're going to the playoffs. I hope it happens. But obviously the Chiefs are the favorites. Everybody's picking them. I don't pick NFL games, guys. I feel like NFL games are guesses. You're just guessing which professional is going to show up and play better that day. You really don't know. And I hate to do prop bets and all that stuff. I don't ever guess at anything I'm doing. I need analysis. I need to know what's going on. And I can tell you that I don't study the NFL rosters. I know them. I know every player in the NFL. Literally every player in the NFL. If you don't believe me, try me. People see me all the time whenever I'm looking at NFL preseason games. I'm going insane for dudes just trying to make the fringe of the roster. I know everybody's practice squad. It's what I do, but it's because they're the college players. I still know who they are. But unfortunately, I don't care that much. My Sundays are spent watching Group of 5 football and attacking those conferences all on one day. And then obviously I hit every Power 5 conference throughout the week. So NFL's there. It's fun. It's fine. I do have a fantasy football team, but I'm not excited like some of you guys ask. I got crack fiends in my comments. Come on, Rico, just give me a hit, man. Just tell me what's going on. Can you please tell me who's going to win this game? If there's a 4-point spread, a 3-point spread. Oh, my God, who should I start? Dude, shut up. Be an adult and make your own decisions and leave me alone. That's all I can tell you guys. Shut up, be an adult, and leave me alone. Speaking of being an adult, Jimmy Graham won't face any charges. This doesn't surprise me. Remember, he had that episode in the middle of traffic, and it was a drug-induced episode. At least that's what they thought and said. I believe this man's suffering from CTE, just like Antonio Brown, self-proclaimed CTE. I believe it's a problem. Good for him. No charges being brought upon him. Hey, what happens the next time? What happens the next time? Because this happens all the time. Guys get charges dismissed. They can't prove this or prove that. They're kind of letting them go. What happens when he's naked running in the street? I'm just asking for a friend. I kind of know of a guy in Seattle who was naked running in the street and nearly killing his girlfriend. These guys got problems, bro. Get them some help. Get them some help. Get them some padded walls. Shout out to Jake Haener. Jake Haener, Saints rookie quarterback. Everybody wanted me to talk about it, and I wanted to give it some nuance and some time to read up on the issue and the problem. And I want to tell everybody, people said, Rico, why did you flip on him? Why aren't you a Jake Haener guy anymore? Obviously, I told you guys leading up to the NFL draft, I felt Jake Haener was the number one quarterback in the draft. Everything I've seen on tape tells me that man is a leader, won 10 games at Fresno State this last year. He didn't play in all 10. It was really 7. But first team All-Mountain West, can make every throw I've ever seen a guy need to make. He's gutsy, he's likable, good looking, and he's a bona fide cheater, guys. And here's why I don't like cheaters. In baseball, there are minor leaguers who are taking steroids and HGH and everything else to get to the major leagues. They're cheating to get to the major leagues, and they're getting their big contract, and they don't care if they get caught. Because once they get caught, they get suspended for a season or two. It doesn't matter. They got their contract already. They already got their generational wealth. So this is why I'm upset, is because you cheated your way to get into the league, to get a roster spot. Whether it helped you or not, I don't know. But I know that ethically, you are willing to ignore the integrity of the game. You're willing to disrespect the people you are competing with. I want to tell you guys something. In high school, this is very personal to me. In high school, my senior year of high school, I was 16 years old competing with 18 and 19-year-old kids. I'll never forget it. There was this quarterback on our team, and he was 19 years old, and he was the coach's son, but he was older than all of us because he reclassified. He was a Division I athlete going to San Diego State, and he played safety and he played quarterback. Well, I played corner, but coach said, hey, Rico, can you move to safety for us? We need you to cover the whole field. So I moved to free safety. And in certain moments, anytime that 19-year-old kid wanted to come play free safety, they let him, and I had to move back to corner. And I would be moving back and forth so that kid could play whenever he wanted to. He was an adult. Well, his first year at San Diego State, he got a DUI, he got in a car accident, and he pissed hot for steroids. And they kicked him out of school. But I look back on that and I say, that guy, that piece of shit human being, cheated his way onto the field, cheated his way onto a scholarship, and the rest of us were trying to compete clean. When I turned 19 years old, guys, 3 years later, That dude, I would have took his lunch money. If I ever met that dude in the street, I would have shoulder checked him. I was a grown man at 19. I was getting ready to go in the Army. I was dominating everything. Had I been in high school at that time, I would have been in the Power 5 easy. And that's what pisses me off. I don't walk around here and go, man, I'd be in the league if only coach put me in. No. What I'm trying to tell you is it's a very personal thing to me that certain people are trying to compete and do it clean, and you got these assholes with no morals and no ethics, and they beat other people. And shout out to that quarterback. He ended up getting arrested for hooking up with underage girls. They dropped the charges because it was a troubled youth, and they couldn't prove it. But I don't care. I got 3 daughters, bro. Let me meet you today. Chin check you. I want to read this off. I got a super chat here first for $20. Victor K says, appreciate your college football and track content. Happy to support. Looking forward to your Cal and Auburn portion. Sucks it's a night game. That might play into Cal advantage, but I'll be there with my Cal football alum dad. Oh, shout out to you, Victor. Shout out to you, Victor. Congratulations. Yes, I will eventually get to it. I do appreciate the tip and the support of the program and the channel. You know, I'm trying to make a living, and it's an honest living. Every day I'm working hard. Kim told me right before the show started, she said, these haters have no idea how much effort and time you actually put into your show and what you do. Because I make it look seamless, right? I make it look seamless, guys, that I know what I'm talking about. But every name I say, every stat I quote, I had to read it somewhere. I had to memorize it and apply it. So, Victor, I appreciate you for being here. You're one of many people watching this show, but you actually took the time to support it, and that means a lot to me, brother. I appreciate you. But back to Jake Haener, man. I hate to put him in the group of cheaters, but that's where I got to put him. And you know, somebody says don't flip. No, don't blindly follow people who make mistakes. Don't love unconditionally. Any of you guys got that friend? He's with the girl right now. She's cheating on him. Anybody got a friend with a girlfriend that's cheating on him? And he won't leave her because he loves her unconditionally? Oh, I still love her. She just needs to. I still love her. You've seen those women. The man's cheating on them and they won't leave him because he provides a good home because she loves unconditionally. I can't even condone that shit. I feel bad for those people. I do not support Jake Haener unconditionally. Not at any second. I never will. I don't support or love anything unconditionally. I'm telling you right now, man. Let my children break a law. Let my children go out and become a nuisance or a bane on society. Lock them up, throw away the key. Oh, well. That's how I get down. Shout out to Al Dog Author. He says, best college football analyst in the game today. Respect. Thank you so very much. You know, there was a kid on Twitter today. And I say kid, I don't know if it's an adult or not. But his mental capacity is that of a child. So let's talk about it. He wrote, Rico only calls the easy games. Rico only guesses at the easy college football games. Mind you, every single game has a spread, which makes it impossible for it to be easy. The spread is there to make it more difficult. But if you haven't seen what I've been talking about all offseason and you haven't seen the games I've called, then I don't know what to tell you. You think they were easy? You think it was easy telling the world about a 4-win Texas State team all summer? When everybody said, Rico, why the hell are you talking about Texas State? I'm like, well, G.J. Kinney's doing it, man. I think he just brought in 23 transfers. I really like these FCS-level transfers. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, I just know football. I watched the tape. These guys look amazing. You know, there was this kid. He was leaving Northwestern, linebacker. He jumped in the portal, and the very next day I went and looked at his tape. His incoming freshman. He's from Houston. And Cryer is the last name. And I turn on the tape. I come back to my channel. I go, hey, guys, I watched the tape last night. This boy Cryer is a thumper. He's a problem. He's going to be amazing. Somebody writes back, nobody wants those Northwestern kids. He ain't nothing special. Rico, you're crazy. Very next day, Florida State signed him. Florida State signed him. It's not that I'm getting the games right. I'm assessing the players accurately. That's where it's at. And if you're brand new to the channel, you missed all the legwork. You missed the whole summer. You missed 9 months. I dare the new people to this channel. I dare you to sit down, go to my profile page, and just start watching videos. I'm serious. Don't wait for me to show up on your For You page. You probably follow hundreds of people, thousands of people on TikTok. Get rid of all the people you follow, or at least reduce the number, and my videos will come up more. You'll see all of them, actually. But I dare you to go to my page and start watching all my videos. You don't have enough time in your day to watch all my videos. You don't have enough time in your day to sit down and watch my videos. Now imagine how much time it took me to make them, to edit them, to add graphics, to cut them, to learn. Some guy goes, well, how many takes did that take you to make? Bruh, it took me 3 minutes because I got more shit to do. Mind you, I'm still running 5 miles a day. I'm still working out, still taking my girl on vacations, loving my dog, cleaning my house, cutting my yard. It's all on live stream. I live stream everything. I take you guys with me everywhere. You don't understand how much effort it takes. So when somebody walks up and tries to hate on me, all I can tell you is you're on the wrong side of history, and nothing I do is easy. If it's so easy, you all have a phone right now. You all have a smartphone. You all have an app. Start your TikTok account. Start your YouTube page. And just start going. And rock it. And just start talking sports. No, nothing else. You don't need anybody to back you. You need anything. All I have is a phone and me, bro. It's about delivery and content. And is an immense amount of work ethic. An immense amount of work. You know what time I wake up this morning? Anybody see what time I posted a video this morning? What time did I post the video this morning? And what was it about? And how fast can you post a video in the morning? And then how many have I been posting today? And when do I stop posting at night? Figure that shit out. And then go scroll and find out how long have I been doing this. Is it just this week? Did I just pick it up this summer? How long has it been? I know. I just started, let me tell you guys this. I started YouTube in June. I got 900 videos on YouTube. 900 on YouTube. Good luck with that. Somebody just wrote in the chat and said, please just talk about football. Owen Patterson, you're on the wrong page, bro. You're in the wrong spot. If you're here and just saying, just go talk about football, you're not a believer in the channel. If you're here and you say, Rico, where are your picks? All I want to know is who your picks are. You're in the wrong channel. This is a podcast. This is a live stream. This is me talking to my fans and followers. This is not me being a finite resource for you to take off the shelf and just be like, hey, shut up, man. I want to get to this shit. Ridiculous. The only thing more ridiculous are these damn shoes from the Big Baller brand. The Big Baller brand put out these shoes. Now, y'all, the all whites, these whites right here, they're okay. They're okay. But this shit, these toaster ovens right here, what is this? This looks like the Big Spoon. Somebody tagged me, stitched one of my videos. This looks like the Big Spoon for when you go to scoop like the sopa in your kitchen. I don't know what you guys call it, a stew. You go get the sopa, the stew, and you go in there. This is where it's at, bruh. This shit is gross. And that's LeVar Ball. Those are his feet or his ankles. My homie got cankles, bruh. You're supposed to have thin ankles if you're athletic. I'm just letting you know. If you guys don't have thin ankles, you're not athletic. I just want you guys to look down. If your calf and ankle are the same, you can't mess with me. You got next, bro. You're not on my team. You're not running with me on my 5. I'm not picking you. Oh, we're playing a football game? Who are you picking? I'm not picking you. Why? You don't have skinny ankles, bro. Get away from me. Look at these shoes, though. Disgusting. I know some of you guys are going to go out there and buy this shit. The white ones go hard. The white ones are nice. They look like they look like slippers, bro. And what's the price on these things? I'm pretty sure the price is one of your children. I'm pretty sure the price is $300-400. Get out of here. I can't do it. None of this is worth it. Look at that. Utterly disgusting, bro. If I see somebody wearing this shit in public, it's over. Transfer portal update. Transfer portal update. Jadarius Perkins leaves the Florida Gators and hits the portal. It's week 2, bro. Jadarius Perkins leaves Florida because he didn't get the starting job. He's been in a battle. It didn't work out. And he jumps in the portal. Now he's petty. He jumps in the portal, quits on his whole team. But when he quits, his message is, I want to say thank you to Dan Mullen for recruiting me here, right? And Scott Strickland, the defense. He didn't ever once talk about the actual coaching staff. He's a graduate transfer. I think he's going to be severely disappointed if he tries to transfer to another SEC school. This young man tried to go to Missouri. He was there for the spring. Ended up with the Gators. He was at Mississippi Gulf Coast. That should tell you everything you need to know. Okay, Mississippi Gulf Coast. But the reality is Jaden Hill beat him out, took the star position away from him. He only played a couple of snaps, maybe 6 snaps, and he says, I'm out of here. But that, for me, guys, I don't like quitters. I don't like quitters at all. So what if you're backing up somebody? In college football, have you guys ever looked at a box score in college football? How many people make a tackle in a game? Go look at it. It's insane how many people they play in a game. In college football, your 2 deep sees the field the whole time. They're always in the game. They rotate DBs. They rotate linebackers. They rotate defensive ends. It's not just offensive linemen that don't get rotated in. Everybody else gets rotated in. This guy quit on his team, bro. And he's my teammates know about it. You know, I don't care what y'all say. They know the truth. No, the truth is they're down one more person, and now they got a freshman starting in that position. Now they got to get one of their new recruits in the 2 deep who's not physically ready. Ridiculous. Ineligible, Mississippi State. You got a grad transfer leaving TCU. They didn't let him eligible. It's Spivey, the tight end, Jaquarius Spivey. It's unfortunate. There's a lot of people ineligible. They won't be playing this year. You cannot transfer twice. It's the new rule. You won't get immediate eligibility. You got to use your red shirt at that point. You get 1 free transfer. You're transferring twice, it ain't happening no more, bro. That's just the reality of the situation. That's the new rule. NCAA told you, and that's the way it goes. Shout out to the 180 people watching on TikTok. Thank you for watching. But what you need to do is go up to YouTube, switch over, come to our YouTube Live, and you can put it in the chat, your question. I cannot answer questions from here. I'm only answering from YouTube. That's where I get paid. That's where I get my tips. That's where I get my views and everything else. You have to go to YouTube, guys. Sorry about that, everybody. And today's an SEC day. All questions should be SEC. Hey, shout out to the 170 people over here. We got one. We're equal. We got about 360 watching. Here's the deal. I need you guys to leave the chat real quick. Go hit the like button and come back in. We got to hit the like button. I only got 48 likes, 178 people here. Please hit the like button. It helps our algorithm, keeps the channel growing. Thank you to the person who made it 49. Keep going, keep doing it, and then come back in the chat. Let's get the show on the road. All right. Today is SEC. 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 So what's the SEC been doing? Well, let's start. First, Vandy and Hawaii. Vandy did not impress me in this game. They don't have home field advantage. Their stadium's under construction. They look terrible. Hawaii did what they wanted. Hawaii nearly won this game, or at least tied it. The onside kick, the kid got it, but they said he was out of bounds. Okay, next game, Utah dominates Florida. We knew this was coming. Florida is hapless. I have Florida winning like 4 games max, and Utah beats them. Not surprised at all. Missouri, there's no quarterback battle here. Brady Cook is the quarterback. Dominating South Dakota, doing what they got to do. I was really impressed. 28 points at the half. That's what you want to see. South Dakota is an FCS school, but they looked good. Schrader looked good running the rock. Shout out to Missouri doing their thing. Georgia looked a little sluggish for me, but Carson Beck looked accurate. Looked like he was getting others involved. Tell me why Brock Bowers is doing carries at running back. He got one, but still, Georgia going out and winning like they're supposed to. Congratulations. It's UT Martin. Alabama, I learned Milroe looks smooth. They hit on all cylinders. Remember, Middle Tennessee State was a 7-win team last year. Middle Tennessee State had a great season last year, but the cupboard's bare. They lose their starting quarterback in Cunningham. They lose all kinds of guys to the transfer portal. Shout out to Jalen Lane. And they come out there and they look absolutely terrible. I'm glad Alabama, Jalen Milroe, has some type of relationship with Isaiah Bond. As you see there, he's the leading receiver, 5 receptions, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Isaiah Bond is a state champion 100-meter runner in Georgia. He is fast as all hell. Went to Buford. He's dangerous. He's dynamite. You just got to get him the rock. He's been there for a couple years now. Hope they utilize him. You saw 6 wide receivers from Alabama hit the transfer portal this offseason, 6 of them. And I have to imagine it's because Isaiah Bond doing his thing. Everybody kept telling me Malik Benson's going to own this room. Maybe he will play good some game or two. But for me, I don't get excited about JUCO transfers at all. I'm telling you right now, my JUCO transfer pan-out rate is like 5%. Literally 95% of JUCO transfers don't move me. They don't hit the radar for me. I don't get excited about it. I don't give a shit what they're ranked. None of them hit. Oh, but Rico, there's so-and-so went JUCO and he's in the pros. I don't care. I'm telling you, I study this. You can go look. Top 50 JUCO players for the last 5 years. Go to Rivals. Go to 24/7. Pull it up. Go to 24/7. Look at their JUCO ranks. Pull up the top 50 players. And just start sifting through it. You won't see a name you recognize. Not unless you're me. You're not going to see a name you recognize. They miss all the time. Tennessee beating Virginia. Virginia is hapless. They did have Tony Muskett get hurt. And Tennessee looked fine. I'm not a big Joe Milton guy. I don't think he's going to play as well as Hendon Hooker did last year. But Tennessee had 4 running backs in this game, get over 10 carries each. That's, they're putting in work. They want to see what they can do while they have the time. But Tennessee's offense is always going to score a lot of points. That is a Josh Heupel staple, right, from where he comes from and what he does. So I'm excited for Tennessee to put up points. The shocker for me of the whole week is North Carolina, the way they dominated South Carolina. Obviously, South Carolina's offensive line sucked, to put it lightly. They lost a linebacker for the rest of the season. But they got to be encouraged by a couple things. Yes, they had -2 rushing yards. But Spencer Rattler still threw for almost 350 yards. Like, he still did his thing, which is crazy, which is insane. 353 yards. Xavier Leggett, it looked great. I'm sorry, Leggett. But they were very underwhelming at the running back position. And I know, I told you guys, man, they're doing the best they can. They're moving people there. But where's Mario Anderson Jr.? Where's the Newberry transfer, Division II All-American? I didn't see him anywhere on the field. No carries. Is he injured? I haven't seen anything. And I searched for like 2 hours. That's a lot of time for me to search. I'm a cyber expert. I can search all day. Let me see this super chat question before I go on. This man says, Ryan Sanger asks, do you smell any cheaters this season? Gambling seems to be rampant, easy as an app, and addictive. So, Ryan Sanger, as of this point, I don't see any cheaters, but I need people to understand. Cheating is not going to occur on the apps or because of the apps. It's too traceable. It's going to be the bookies. And all you kids don't understand because you think it's out of a movie. It's not. I've told you guys, go to Netflix and go watch Bad Sport. Bad Sport is a documentary on Netflix. Watch episode 1. And it's called Hoop Schemes. And it's about Arizona State point shaving in 1994. I know 94 sounds like a long time ago for you guys. Not for me, bro. Coach Prime was playing for the 49ers, and the Cowboys were in the middle of winning 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. I'm telling you right now, go study that. Thank you so much for your first super chat there, Adam. I appreciate you for supporting the channel. We need it every day. Thank you. That's the way we're going to make our living. But what's really important for you guys to understand is bookies are reaching out to players coaches and referees. It's way different than you think. It's not about, oh, well, Rico, everybody's got an app. No, they don't. Gambling's not legal in every state. So if you think all those states where gambling's not legal, if you think they're not betting in those states, they are. Bookies are alive and well in states where gambling is not legal. So find a state that's not legal, you're going to find bookies, 110%. And when you have somebody of influence that can impact the outcome of the game, they're going to get approached offline. They're going to get approached in person. And it's real simple. They're just going to ask, hey, can you win this game? We need you to lose this game. We need you to take a sack here. We need you to get 40 yards rushing. Whatever it is. And all you need is one thing to go wrong. And that compromises the game. Because the minute you lose, the minute you do it wrong for a bookie, now you're on the take. Now you owe them. So the minute you go in there and say, yo, I bet on myself. I bet you $2,000 I'm going to score a touchdown this game. Because you bet on yourself. And everybody finds that very positive. And everybody encourages it. Oh, was he betting on his team to lose or win? Because if he was betting on his team to win, it's okay. No. What if you bet on your team to win with a bookie and you lose? Now you owe that man, and he says, no, you don't owe me the $2,000. I don't want the $2,000. You can keep your $2,000. I just need you to lose the next game. I need you to lose the next game, and now you're on the take. And that's how people settle their debts. They owe you a favor, and they settle the debts. And people don't understand that this really does happen. We know it happens because Donahue talked about it, a ref in the NBA. We know it happens because Headache talked about it for Arizona State. Everybody's saying not nowadays. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. This happens today, every day. Nowadays. This is not some shit out of a movie, guys. It's just real. Bookies exist. Look, a bookie can be 22 years old. It could be your friend. It could be a classmate. It can be a classmate who talks to you and says, hey, you want to go in on a deal with me? I know a guy who's got $5,000. You don't understand. The guy he knows is his uncle. He's got $5,000. He'll pay you $5,000 if you get sacked in the first half. You go get sacked in the first half. Guys, this is so much stronger than you can ever imagine because bookies can exist out in the open. I want you to think about how much weed is being smoked right now. I want you to think about how much weed is being smoked. Is marijuana legal? It is in some states. It is in some states. You can go to a dispensary, you can go to a store and go get it. Does that mean people stop selling drugs? Do you think now there are no more marijuana drug dealers? You don't have a weed guy anymore because it's legal? No, it just means that guy doesn't have to hide anymore. It means he can be out in the open and exist among all the others. And you can't tell the difference. You just assume you got it legitimately. Betting is the same way. Gambling is the same way. You will be approached. And listen, we're regular citizens. No one's going to approach you or your buddy or your friends, everybody on an app. No one's going to approach you. You don't dictate the output of games. But coaches used to have to find a bookie to do it. Coaches used to have to find a bookie to do it. It doesn't happen today. Alabama's baseball coach just got caught trying to have one of his best friends bet $100,000 on one of his own games. Because there's a gate that you can use. He knew a place to go place the bet, and he had insider information. Don't tell me it doesn't happen. What you don't understand is it happens to the individuals who can impact the outcome of the game. This is why all the Iowa players are getting caught. This is why all the Iowa State players are getting caught. Because they can impact the output of these games. All you kids are naive if you think it's just your apps and it's just a little button here. It's just this little thing. It's crazy. It's outrageous. Gambling's a problem. And players are influenced by bookies. We use the term bookies, but it can be friends. Go watch Headache. Go watch that documentary with Headache. And Headache, his friend who got him to bet the games is 22 years old, just like him. But he said, hey, I know a guy who's going to put $750,000 on the game. He'll pay you $20,000 if you make sure we don't cover the spread. $20,000 if you make sure we don't cover the spread. What do? You go out there and you play, and you don't cover the spread. That's how it's done, guys. It's a sad day when the kids out here in this world think that is an outdated process when it's actually happening. You just don't read the news. It's happening. Go read up on how the Alabama baseball coach just got fired this year. Alabama baseball coach got fired trying to bet $100,000 on his own game. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Ole Miss, Mercer. Ole Miss is out here with all their transfers. Everybody kept telling me all offseason that Spencer Sanders is going to be the starting quarterback here. I told you, no, he's not. Spencer Sanders is not the starter. He's not competing. He's not part of the job. And they're letting him play just so he can get some playing time. This guy needs surgery on his shoulder. I have inside information. He can't even play the position well. Hence Jackson Dart getting the keys to the Cadillac. I'm excited for Ulysses S. Grant. Bentley. Ulysses Bentley, the backup running back. This is a former 900-yard rusher at SMU 2 years ago. He transferred to Ole Miss. Unfortunately for him, so did Zach Evans. So Zach Evans and Judkins took the running back room. Now he's still there, and he's second string in the running back room right now. He got some carries in the first game. I'm excited for him. Trey Harris doing his damn thing. 6 receptions, 133 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's another transfer from La Tech. Had 900 yards last year and over 10 touchdowns. So seeing a small school guy coming up to the SEC and dominating, I'm excited for him. Obviously dominating Mercer, but we'll see what happens. Shout out to Ole Miss. They look really good. I'm a big Lane Kiffin guy. A&M dominating New Mexico like they should. Okay, no more of this playing with terrible teams and playing down to their level. Connor Wegman, 5 touchdowns, kind of put everything to bed. No more Max Johnson. Don't have to hear about it. Max Johnson, Brad Johnson's son, probably shouldn't have transferred from LSU to A&M just to be with his brother, right? His brother's a tight end prospect, pretty damn good kid. But when I look at it, I'm like, hey, Max, you were playing at LSU. You were in the rotation. But when you guys want to transfer from an SEC school because you're not getting playing time, bro, you better go transfer to a smaller school. Don't go Power 5 to Power 5. You're not gonna be starting over there. It's not like it's an easier start. They're gonna keep recruiting kids and get players, and these guys are good. Shout out to them. And then shout out to A&M during this game. Josh DeBerry balled out. People kept asking me, Rico, what about Tony Grimes? What about Sam McCall? No, I told you guys this spring. I got it on video. I told everybody, hey, they just got their best DB on the team. Josh DeBerry, all-conference second-team ACC last year for Boston College. Leaves, shows up over here at A&M. First game, 1 sack, 1 interception, leading the team in tackles, 10 tackles. Great game by Josh DeBerry. It was New Mexico, I know. New Mexico was actually improved, but Texas A&M, good job. Kentucky kind of underwhelmed me. I know Ball State's good. Ball State has a good true freshman starting quarterback. I love it. Played at Mission Viejo out in California last year. I love what Jaden's doing. And then their running back is a transfer, Marquez Cooper, back-to-back 1,300-yard rusher from Kent State. So Ball State had to replace Carson Steele leaving to UCLA, and I think they did that. But they obviously didn't match up well with Kentucky. Kentucky's got some speedsters. Shout out to Key. Shout out to Barry and Brown. Ray Davis, I call him the substitute teacher, showing up from Vanderbilt. He was a 1,000-yard rusher last year in the SEC. He just transferred in. He went for over 100 yards. And then Devin Leary did not look great, but he's obviously an upgrade from Will Levis because Will Levis sucks. But shout out to Kentucky. They did their thing. Let's keep it going. Arkansas. KJ Jefferson is him, like everything he does. Rocket Raheem Sanders didn't look good. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, most of his carries. He was held in check. I think they had a game plan to stop their running backs. So they wanted to hold Raheem Sanders to nothing. Who's the other kid? DeBinion, another good running back that I like, and they held him in check as well. Arkansas needs to find their receivers, though. They lost Trey Knox to the transfer portal. He went to South Carolina. That was a great threat for them in the red zone, but we'll see what happens with Arkansas throughout the season. Auburn took care of UMass. UMass is much improved. I'm telling you right now, at the end of that first quarter, it was 10-7. Holy shit. It was 10-7. Obviously, the depth took over, the speed, the athleticism. Auburn has a lot more talent, but UMass, for one quarter, looked the part. And this is the second year in a row because last year they gave Texas A&M all they ever wanted. Okay? When I look at Auburn, Peyton Thorne does not move the needle for me. I told you guys this in the offseason. I don't think he's great. But Auburn has a good team. They have players. 21 points back-to-back quarters. We'll see what happens. I like Hugh Freeze. Mississippi State. Will Rogers, they say they're running a new offense. Will Rogers' yards are cut in half. But obviously, they're running the rock more. They have a more traditional offense. Will Rogers is a one-read quarterback anyways. He doesn't do progression reads. He has a pre-snap read. He's used to that run and shoot or air raid offense. But with Leach passing away, RIP, the GOAT, they did well. They looked dominant like they should, and they did well. Vanderbilt, still not impressing me. Beating Alabama A&M 47-13. But I'm telling you right now, 5-3 at the end of the first quarter, 12-3 at halftime. What's up? That looks terrible. I'm not excited about Vanderbilt. I see they're 2-0. They're beating cupcakes. This is status quo for the SEC. That is outrageous. And then LSU, Florida State. Florida State's number one team in the country athletically. I have USC number one in my polls just because they have the best player in the world. But Florida State, top to bottom, you know how we talk about the transfer portal? And I talk about Colorado, and I talk about Texas State and SMU and UMass and all the teams that utilize the transfer portal amazingly. At the top, there's USC and Florida State doing the same exact thing. They utilize the transfer portal like you wouldn't believe. Florida State starting quarterback, running back, wide receiver, both tight ends, 3 offensive linemen, every defensive significant starter on defense, Jared Verse. It doesn't matter who it is. Florida State's got transfers everywhere. All those guys are transfers. They're utilizing the transfer portal like everybody else, and they're knocking it out the park. So when you see Coach Prime flipping a script and a roster, the same thing is happening with Norvell and what they're doing here. And unfortunately for LSU, they hit the hell out of this portal. But my goodness, did they get outplayed, outcoached, everything they ever did. I don't understand. They didn't have the players that could compete. There's no way they could have covered those receivers. Man, there was a physical mismatch there. They did not line up well. They did not compete. And there was dropped passes everywhere on both sides. But LSU needs to find another receiver not named Malik Neighbors. Like, they didn't have anybody else. There was no other weapon that was open. It was very frustrating for LSU. They don't match up well with the elite teams. It's unfortunate. Now, going into next week, you got Vanderbilt at Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a favorite for this game. Wake Forest is a favorite by 10 points. This is a team that lost their starting quarterback. What are we doing? Over under 57.5. I think the over's in play, but I don't know how Wake Forest wins this game by 10. That's interesting to me, but I think the over's in play. I think both teams can score. Georgia and Ball State. Ball State, like I said, Marquez Cooper last year when he was with Kent State, he rushed for 90 yards on Georgia. He doesn't have the same offensive line, same offensive coordinator, doesn't have any of that stuff. But you got Georgia with a 42-point line. I don't feel good about it. I really don't. I think Ball State can get a lot of first downs with their running attack. And the over-under is 52. That means they're expecting Georgia to win and Ball State maybe score 10 points. I'd stay away from this game completely if I was a bettor. Just leave it alone. Georgia wins. Leave it alone. Kentucky wins. Eastern Kentucky's really bad. And then you got Ole Miss, Tulane. These teams can score points. We know they can score points. There are great wide receivers in this game. And I'm talking about the Tulane wide receivers. Tulane has 2 amazing wide receivers everybody needs to watch. Whenever Pratt's back there to throw, he's going to have 2 guys open. I'm serious. Okay? I still think Ole Miss wins this game. They're physically dominant, all that other stuff. But Tulane's not a punk. 7.5 points sounds right. But I wouldn't bet on this game at all because either team could just show up and play lights out. A&M and Miami. Tell me A&M's got a 4-point spread on Miami, and 51 is the over-under. A&M's strength is going to be throwing the rock, and you cannot throw the rock against Miami. You just can't. The only thing I can think of in this game is the under. The only thing I can take is the under. You can't throw on Miami. They have an amazing secondary. A&M's got great defense. I think the under's in play. That's it. Under 51. Give me the under. I can't take anything else. Arkansas, Kent State. I'm taking Arkansas. Give me the spread. Kent State is anemic. They can't beat anybody. Do not take the over-under. Just take the spread. I didn't even know that spread was 38. I need to make a video on that. That's crazy. Arkansas 38 with Kent State. Kent State is terrible, guys. They just lost by 50 to UCF. I think Arkansas is better than UCF. Trust me. Arkansas is covering that spread all day. And they're going to cover the spread and I think maybe hit the under. I just leave it alone. Just say cover the spread and leave the rest alone. Tennessee's beating Austin Peay. No big deal there. And then you got Texas and Alabama. First and foremost, if you're going to take this game at all, you take Alabama, but I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it at all. I really wouldn't. The over-under is 54, Alabama 7. That means they think they're going to be in the 20 range, 30 range. Stay away from it all. Enjoy the game. You don't have to put juice on every game. Just enjoy it for what it is. Missouri against Middle Tennessee. Missouri's covering this 21-point spread. I think they beat Middle Tennessee by more than 21. Stay away from anything else on that. Just the 21 part is what I believe. LSU, Grambling, obviously you know the deal there. Florida and McNeese. Florida's got it. Mississippi State and Arizona. Mississippi State with a 9-point favorite. Over-under is 60.5. Take the over. Take the over. Arizona, Mississippi State. Take the over. Arizona can score. T-Mac's a problem. They can score. I don't care what anybody says. They can score. I think they're going to come over 60 on those two. South Carolina, Furman. They'll bounce back. And then Auburn, Cal. Everybody keeps asking me about this. I think Cal's a good football team, guys. I think they're sneaky good. People don't know what's going on. Your boy Ott can run. Obviously, Auburn's good. But remember, Auburn was not dominating that first quarter. It took them a while to get the ball rolling. Don't bet on the game. Don't bet on the game. Just enjoy a good game. That's all there is to it. A lot of times I'm going to tell you guys, don't be betting on these games. Enjoy them for what they are. If I was betting on any of these games, 3 games, I'm going Missouri covers the spread, Arkansas covers the spread, and A&M Miami under. And that's it. And I stop like that. Just stop like that. But I got it. I wrote it down, right? Arkansas covers the spread. Missouri, I think I already did a video on Missouri. There you go. I owe you guys a video on the other one. All right. Now, we're all done. Time for your questions. Sorry we're so long-winded, but that's how we get down here. It's the SEC day. It's 5:46. Took us 45 minutes. Now we get to questions. Some of you losers out there watching us, just get to the questions already, Rico. Relax, bro. Hey, thank you very much. If you're 116 people watching us on TikTok, we got 200 over here watching us on YouTube. You guys can move over, see the graphics, ask the questions, hit the like button before you jump in. Hey, guys, we got 200 watching. We only got 121 likes. Help us, brother. We need the likes. That's important. Andres says, hey, Rico, just know I'm going to always be one of your first ones here. Andres, Willie Bobo's going to beat you almost every day. And there's Kim and Steve and a few others. But congratulations. Welcome to the crew. A lot of people are early every day. My question is, which SEC school do you think had the best transfer class and can translate to a long-standing program success? So, the best transfer class for me when I did my impact score was Auburn, meaning the transfers will impact them more than the other schools in the SEC. So it was Auburn. But as far as long-standing program success, you got to go LSU. LSU got a lot of underclassmen to transfer in that'll be there for a number of years, theoretically. Guys like Will Howard, guys like Denver Harris. They got more depth and younger guys to transfer in that'll be there for prolonged periods of time. So LSU, Auburn, they both kind of are at that, at the pinnacle when it comes to transfer portal classes in the SEC. Yes, sir, Rico. What up, On Deck Gaming? Keep up your grind, bro. Your content is A1. A1, is that the sauce? I appreciate you. Steve says, welcome in. Very specific rules, so play along. Ask questions once. SEC questions only. Choose not to play by these rules. Get the boot. Thank you very much, Steve. Steve's the bouncer. We're not playing that junk. What odds? Mark Preston says, what are the odds Prince shows up on the stat sheet for McNeese versus McNeese? So if you guys don't know Prince Umanlian, he wears number 1 for Florida. He's a complete bum. he used my daughter's name in vain. My daughter was a minor, and he said, hey, he wanted to meet her and talk to her and all this shit while trying to talk smack to me online. One thing you don't do is talk about an adult male's kids. You don't talk about my daughter, bro. And then he deleted everything and tried to hide from it because he didn't want his university to find out. So, yeah, you don't mess with me, bro. I'm a damn master sergeant in the world's strongest army. I'm not the guy to play with. I'm just not. But that being said, I hope he shows up on the stat sheet. I hope he finally makes his first tackle of the season. Because as of right now, as it stands today, Princely, Manley, and me, and we're tied. We're tied in tackles for the season. We're tied in quarterback hurries. We're tied in sacks. We're tied in pressures and passes deflected. We got all the same stat line. Me and that Princely Manley dude. He starts for Florida, played the entire game, zeros all the way across. Zeros all the way across. That kid sucks. Let you know now. Any SEC teams on upset alert this weekend? If you were going to pick one, the upset alert would have to be Alabama. They're fighting the most viable opponent as far as upsets go. It's got to just be Alabama. That's it. Does Vanderbilt win? I don't think so. I think Wake Forest is too good on defense for them. No, I don't think so. Any updates on Zico's eligibility being denied? I don't know if you got to the last week. Do you think he should have stayed at Colorado? So Kamani Ross is talking about Sadeu Traore, the former Arkansas State tight end. He transferred from Arkansas State, being first-team All-Sun Belt, to Colorado. Things didn't work out. Colorado doesn't use tight ends the way he envisioned. Colorado doesn't even need tight ends. They use 4 receiver sets. But once he realized he wasn't going to be used, he transferred to Mississippi State. Now, that's his second transfer. They don't have to grant him immediate eligibility, and they're probably not. And I haven't looked into it any more than that. Didn't see him play. Good afternoon, Rico. Thoughts on Mississippi State? Secondary being able to hold off the Arizona wide receiver corps. So their secondary doesn't impress me, David. I think their linebackers are very good, okay? They can play with 6 in the box because the linebackers are so good. So I still think Arizona's secondary is good. I'm sorry, wide receivers are very good. They're top-notch. Thank you for the tip there, Adam. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Shout out to Adam supporting us with the super chat. We need that in our lives. That's how Kim and I make a living, so thank you so much, guys. After what you saw against Florida State, how do you project LSU to do the rest of the season? Well, I don't think that you should be too down on LSU for the entire season. Florida State's a very good team. They had a strong defensive line. They're good at every position. LSU's not going to face that type of opposition in the SEC. I hate to break it to you guys, but a lot of teams in the SEC are not good. They're just not. If you think the SEC is strong top to bottom, then tell me how many times have you heard Georgia's got a cupcake schedule? How many times have you heard Georgia's going undefeated because they have a cupcake schedule? I thought they played in the SEC. There's no cupcakes in the SEC is what they tell me. They're going to be fine. LSU can play ball. They got to go out there, be competitive. They have a great coach. They have a good quarterback. They just need to go out there and win games. Easier said than done, I know. But they're not facing Florida State every week. They're not going to be outgunned, outmatched, and overpowered every single week. They're not seeing Keon Coleman out there on the edge, running for touchdowns, laughing at him all night. Like, that's not going to happen. So hopefully they play better. I'm not ready to write off their whole season. You could still make the national title with one loss, guys. You can still make the national title with one loss. So their season's not even over. And you know what? I'm going to sound crazy, but I'm going to tell you, Clemson's season's not over. It's just not. You can win the rest of the way. You can win out and still be relevant. K-State last year lost to a group of 5 team early on. Still won their conference and ended up in a New Year's Six Bowl. K-State. True story. Who'd they lose to? Tulane early? I think it was Tulane. Ole Miss will win the West. Tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong, Joe Jennings. I like Ole Miss. I hope they win the West. That'd be great. I like Lane Kiffin a lot. I'm a Lane Kiffin dude. But you told me to tell you you're wrong, so you're wrong. Angel Goff says, does Texas cover because the band is not there in Tuscaloosa? I thought the band's going to be upstairs. They told me they're going to be in the upper deck. Isn't that what they told me? I don't know if they cover. I'm staying away from that type of stuff on the Texas-Alabama game. It doesn't seem realistic to guess at a 50-50 game like that. I won't guess at that stuff. Yep. The man off the hour. You mean of the hour. What up? Thank you, Don Player. Corey Free says, best time of the day. What's good, Rico? What's good, y'all? Willie Bobo says, I want to give a shout out to Forever. If you guys didn't know, my daughter's name is Forever. She's I got a whole playlist on my page. Forever's a 10-year-old. It's a 9-year-old. She just turned 10. Forever's a 10-year-old basketball player. I got her. She plays AAU basketball. I got some videos of her on the court. Forever will take your lunch money if you're not watching. She's a beast. Mike Diaz says, thoughts on Jalen Key possibly not playing? Yeah, just another one of those situations where these kids are getting advised by terrible people. You know, there's a kid who just got told he was ineligible, and he went on Instagram and Twitter and wrote, please get me in touch with somebody who can help me. And I'm just like, oh, it was Jacoravius Bivey, the tight end from TCU who just went to Mississippi State. And I'm just thinking, the school's supposed to help you. Like, you don't need to reach out in social media. You have an admissions office. You have coaches. You have people who should be helping you. What's going on? Jalen Key, a star safety for UAB last year, jumps in the portal, and he shouldn't. So, wait, am I thinking about an injury? Why is Jalen Key not possibly playing? Educate me on that. Slow down. I'm not saying he's not eligible. My bad. Yo, what's up, Rico? I'm new here. I love to watch your channel. Thank you so much, Nibble Elfowl. I can't even read your name, bro. Who picked your name? Is that a real name? Did your parents give it to you? I apologize if that's true. My bad. Don't worry. I had a female soldier. Her last name was Cockburn. All one word. Cockburn. Pronounced Coburn. She told me it was Canadian, pronounced Coburn. Bruh, I know how to read. That's not Coburn. Cockburn. If you think you got a bad name, there you go. How quickly will the SEC adopt the horns down? We don't know. Jason Whitlock has been hating hard on Coach Prime. Sterling J, I don't watch any talking heads. I'd imagine they do it for clicks, do it for clout, want to be relevant. Jason Whitlock used to be on TV. He's not anymore. That's just the life cycle of somebody who gives hot takes. Don't give hot takes. Be accurate. There's no need to try to make waves with a hot take. It doesn't even resonate with me. Zion says, hey, Rico, what's the inside on Jadarius Perkins, that corner from Florida Gators? He just hit the portal. Rewind the show. I just talked about it. Willie Bobo, hit the like button. Thank you very much, Willie, reminding everybody. Appreciate you guys. We're sitting at 145. That's pretty good. Really enjoy your content, Rico. Thank you, Cooper Shaw. Thank you. I really enjoy your support for the channel. It makes my life possible. Thank you guys so much. I'm an Ohio State fan in here. Well, it's SEC Thursday, so you're surrounded by the enemy. There you go. Steve Talbot, Willie Bobo, mind blown. Rogue says, what's up, Rico? Raj, love your content. Keep doing big things, sir. Thank you so much. Omalia says, is there any hope for Vanderbilt in the future, or will they stay as SEC bottom feeders for the next few years? Well, they're not necessarily bottom feeders. I think they love being in the SEC. The conference affiliation, the revenue they're getting is unrivaled by a lot of other programs because they're in the SEC. The fact they can't beat them in football doesn't really bother them, I don't think. You know, who's won the most national titles? Anybody know who's won the most national titles? Like from a college football perspective, who's won the most national titles? What conference? I'm going to tell you, it's the Ivy League. The Ivy League invented football. The Ivy League invented football. And then they used to play football and be the perennial powers at football. And then one day they made the conscious decision, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to put a bigger emphasis on academics. And now the Ivy League doesn't even put any money into their football program. But tell me who's the richest schools in the world, in the globe? It's the Ivy League schools, the billion-dollar endowments. So the minute they want to start taking that money and NIL deals and make the Ivy League the SEC or the Premier League, or make the Ivy League bigger than like F1. Like they can do anything they want if they wanted to. It would take them some years because they got to build facilities, build bigger stadiums. Like The Ivy League can do this if they wanted to. It's a dangerous world we live in. They could take over everything. That's how it is with the SEC right now. And that's how it is with Vandy. If Vandy wanted to put more money into football, they would. They would, but they're fine where they're at. It's all about allocation of resources and priorities. Just don't ever forget that, guys. Because one day the Ivy League's going to go, hey, man, we got some money left over. Let's build a big-ass stadium and win this thing. Just watch. What up, Stevie B? Hey, shout out to Willie Bobo for calling Steve Talbot Stevie B. That's pretty solid. Smash that like button. Thank you, Sterling J, for reminding the crowd. It is what it is. Rico Knows, kick ass. Love the content. Thank you, Ryan Sanger. I love the support. Love you being here. I've seen you post videos or comments, on TikTok. I appreciate you. Thank you once again to Victor. Just got to his comment. Super chat. You're the man, Rico, the Waddy Way, telling me you're the man. Thank you so much. Jeff Jensen. Rico, what up, man? King Arrow, go Dogs. Shazam says, what do you think of A&M's new offense? I think it's very efficient. We're going to find out how good it is against Miami. Week 2 tells us everything we need to know. We're going to see teams actually face opposition that is comparable to their skill set. So I'm pretty excited for it. Let's see what happens. I'm encouraged. I like Petrino. Don't like Fisher. I hope Jimbo still loses his job, but somehow they win. I don't know. We got to figure something out. Joe Jennings says, will Ole Miss win the West? I am not a fortune teller. They play in the West. They have a chance to win it, but I'm not a fortune teller. Bills Mafia says, do you like what Hugh Freeze is doing with Auburn? Yes, I do. Very much so, Bill Mafia. I love the rebuild. I love utilizing the transfer portal. I am a transfer portal expert. That's what it says on the wall behind me. I'm an advocate for the transfer portal. So when I ever see a program do the complete opposite of what Clemson's doing, the complete opposite of what Bama or Georgia's doing, and just saying, yeah, I got to find better players in the portal, I love it. I like Hugh Freeze as a coach as long as he's not cheating. Big Trust says, which SEC players have the best individual matchups this week? The best individual matchups? I don't know what you mean. You mean the biggest advantage in their matchups? I'd imagine whoever's going to get a big blowout. KJ Jefferson. He's got a great individual matchup. Rephrase the question for me, Trust. I want to help you, bro. I want to answer your question. Lego Dogs. Let's go Dogs. Okay. Lego Dogs. Take them boys apart. Bills Mafia says, do you think Auburn has a shot at beating Bama, LSU, or Georgia this season? Do they play all three of them? Because if they do, they have a shot. They're on the field against them. I want to tell you guys, I made a video. I'm going to pull it up while we're talking here. I made a video. I know when I make these videos, but I have to go find them. And the way I find them is through my hashtags. You guys don't realize this, but I label everything with hashtags. That's how I find them in the future.
Bro, TCU lost 65-7 to Georgia.
Bro, that's a guy named Throw God I can't stand. You guys always tell me to watch Throw God. Just came up on my homepage. They think I want to watch Throw God. That dude's outrageous. Rico Knows / let me try upsets. And I guessed at what some upsets will be later in the season. Here we go. Check this out. Right here. You see this upset right here? I guessed at this upset right here. And when you click on it,
who do you think gets the biggest upset of the year and who against? Such a great question. Shout out to Merrill Haggard fan here. This guy has had at least upset of the year. It'll
Check
5 give me.
My number 5, biggest upset that could possibly happen at the end of the year. I called 5 upsets to happen in the last week of the season. I made these predictions back in early June. The 5 upsets I picked were Auburn, Alabama, right? Let's keep it moving. The next one was Florida beating Florida State just to ruin their season. These are outrageous, guys. LSU, A&M beating LSU. I thought LSU would be winning at that point. Louisville beating Kentucky. And you guys ready for this one? I called this shit a while ago. Colorado beating Utah. You can't step to me, y'all. And unfortunately for you guys on TikTok, you can't see the screen. I wish you guys could, but you got to come over to YouTube to see the screen. Thank you guys. So there's proof that I've been calling these upsets all summer long. And I can't wait for it to come true. So yes, can Auburn beat Alabama? I called it. It's possible. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it can happen. It can. Right? I'm out there making videos, y'all. I'm out there making predictions. Get at me. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much, Adam. I appreciate you. How is your favorite Gator getting first-round hype? He had a broken tackle and a pressure. Robert Lopez. NFL scouts don't even care how you play your last year. They don't care how you play. They've already made up their mind on who they're going to draft and where they are on the draft board. They don't care how these players play. That's why the NFL scouts always miss. And that's why draft picks always flop. And that's why I can pick dudes who don't get drafted, and I can tell you that guy's going to make the team. Shout out to about 7 undrafted free agents that I talked about all offseason. I said, these guys belong on NFL teams. I don't know when or where they get drafted. And everybody goes, ha, Rico, you named 7 guys that didn't get drafted. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But Keaton Mitchell, Thomas Income, Sterling Thomas V, like everybody I named that didn't get drafted made it on a fucking 53, bro. It's insane. It's because they're not assessing the players accurately. They're just making their mind up before they ever play. Last season, go to YouTube and search the Kentucky-Florida game and watch the pregame. The whole game's on YouTube. Watch the pregame. The announcers talking, like McShay or any of them dudes in the booth, they're like, and yeah, we have 2 first-round draft pick quarterbacks in this game. And you're like, why? What did they do to warrant them being first-round draft picks? Anthony Richardson never even started games, and that other guy, Will Levis, couldn't beat out Sean Clifford. What are we doing? And then they get in the game, and they start playing like absolute dog shit, both of them. And after every single play, the announcer goes, the color commentator, he goes, well, you see, he's going to have to clean that up at the next level. But he's really struggling right now, but he's going to have to clean that up at the next level. He's going to have to, and just constantly. But their whole assumption and their whole premise is this is the fact. Like, this is what it is. These guys are NFL first-rounders right now. They don't even care how they play. They don't care what they do on the field. I'm telling you, that Tyler Van Dyke for Miami, he's going to get first, second round pub all day long because they've been saying that about him for 2 years. Doesn't matter how he plays. It's what they do. They go and anoint people and label them. I remember Heather Dinich? I don't even know these people. Am I saying it right? Heather Dinich, the girl who works for ESPN, she went on the show and said there are 3 quarterbacks to tank for, to intentionally lose games for. She was talking about NFL teams need to tank for the following 3 quarterbacks. And she said Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Will Levis. Why is she saying that shit? This was said in like September of last year because they don't watch the games. They don't care how the players play. They just anoint them and label them. So this guy Princely is absolute dog shit. And they've already said, oh, he's getting first-round hype. He's getting second-round hype. He's getting third-round hype. Watch the tape. He's gross. He's terrible. Oh, but he's 6'3", 250 and can run a 4.6 40, Rico. I don't give a shit what he can do. I wouldn't want that dude on my team ever. Would never, ever, ever draft him, sign him, nothing. Oh, you're just the guy talking in your living room, Rico. You know what you're talking about. Okay. Well, let's keep watching. While all these GMs who know what they're doing, know what they're talking about, keep getting fired. While all these scouts keep missing in every draft pick. Are you kidding me? Miami Dolphins had 4 draft picks. 4! And 2 of them got cut before the season started. Well, Rico, they were a 6th and a 7th round draft pick. I don't give a shit. You have 4 draft picks. And 2 of them got cut. You got a whole department of scouting. You got a whole scouting department. How many people in your scouting department? 20? You got scouts, you got assessors, you got talent, you got statistician, whatever you got. You got 20 people working, and half the fucking people they say to draft are gone. They missed on half the draft picks. They only found 2 guys to make the team. Gross. At least Jacksonville had 3 guys get cut, but they had 13 draft picks. Gets me so upset. Because we're sitting out here, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. They're experts, Rico. Yeah. I just keep pointing out the guys who will make the team that are undrafted free agents. Figure that one out. College football only for me. Shout out to you, Mo Better. Me too. How do you think the Texas offensive line does against Alabama's defensive front? You know, Jacob Patterson, I think that they're comparable. I really do. But I think what's going to hurt them is Quinn Ewers' is inaccuracy. If he's not throwing it on point, you can blame a lot of things. But all it's going to take is one good pass rush. All it's going to take is one good rush. And now we got an interception because he's not being accurate, right? It's a game of inches. Ask your girl. Running back Roderick Robinson is from my neighborhood in San Diego. Shout out to King Arrow. I've been telling everybody, Roderick Robinson, a running back, he just signed with Georgia. When everybody asks me about Georgia running backs and they say Branson Robinson, I say the real Robinson is Roderick Robinson. Shout out to Lincoln. He played great in the CIF championship game. Really proved himself, really showed out. So I'm a big fan as well. Shout out to you, King. Willie Bobo says, your grandpa loves you too forever. There you go. Ian Malzak says, what you think of Gavin Wimsatt? I think Gavin Wimsatt does not play in the SEC. Do not bring any questions in here that are not SEC related. If you want to know what I think of Gavin Wimsatt, you need to be here on Tuesdays when I talk about the Big Ten. On Deck Gaming says, LOL. Good afternoon, Rico. Shout out to you, Ashton Dillon. King Arrow says, what are your thoughts about freshman running back Brad Robinson? I just answered it. Rewind the show. Jack Smalley says, what do you think about Malik Benson? I think he's, everybody anointed him to be a great wide receiver. I watched the tape. I saw him beating really terrible DBs in junior college. They tell me he's good at practice. I haven't seen it in the game. I'm never sold on a JUCO kid. I'm just not sold on a JUCO kid. I'm just not. Sorry. Angel Goff says, did you see Antonio Brown at FSU? No. Seth says, another Georgia football player charged with reckless driving and speeding. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Did I miss it, Seth? Do I got to get another one? Let's go look for that. That'll be good. I'm so excited. It's unfortunate. Evan Kramer retracted. David Amenkwa says, do you believe Georgia's defense is as good as last year's group? No, and no again. Actually, I'm not moved by guys like Smile Mondin, whatever his name is, Smile Mondin. Watch these guys play in high school. You guys got to remember, all the Georgia players I've seen play their whole lives. I'm not moved by a lot of them. I'm just not. I'm not impressed with them. I hope they play well. I like Malachi Starks a lot, but some of these guys are not as good as obviously not as good as last year's. Evan Kramer says, why am I now just realizing your dad is Willie Bobo? Dude, hilarious. Willie Bobo sounds like Will Ferrell running through the streets. Yeah, it's not Will Ferrell. It was a criminal. Shout out to Fernando Tatis. Seth. Yes, sir. Go Pads. Oh, Pods. Oh, are you talking about Padres? That looked like Go Maxi Pads. Awesome says, oh, awesome. Awesome. Nice name, bro. Who do you think is winning the Kansas versus Illinois game? So that's a Big 10 game and a Big 12 game. Go watch yesterday's show or the day before. You're in the wrong show. Evan Scott says Cal versus Auburn prediction. My prediction is it's going to be a good game. I already make my predictions earlier when you go back, but sometimes you guys are trying to bet on these games, and I don't recommend that. So I'm not here to give you any betting advice outside of don't bet on every single game. Cal versus Auburn, I like the teams. I think Cal did really well in the spring transfer portal, and people don't realize it. I do. I pay attention. Their spring transfer portal was elite. They beat a lot of people out for a lot of players. They look great against North Texas. I think they're comparable to Auburn. I really do. It's the bottom of the SEC, the bottom of the Pac-12. They're both very equivalent. We'll see who wins. All good, dude. Shout out to you, Victor. Thank you very much. Tony Lawrence says, Rico, you are the man, my brother. I don't gamble, but I respect your knowledge on the college game. I needed money for an engagement ring, so I went with the Buffs and made $4,000. Thank you. Tony Lawrence, you're very welcome. Now, save your money and don't be buying no $4,000 engagement ring. Don't do it. Listen to me, bro. I'm speaking from experience. My first wife, I was married to her for 10 years. Puerto Rican, Dominican girl. I met her in a cab, whatever. All right. Shout out to her and the mother of my kids. But we were married for 10 years. I bought her a $1,400 ring. And that was good enough. I know, it's a long time ago. It's like 2004. But here's the deal. The next girl I got with, I bought her a $10,000 ring. It was called the Leo. It was a 1-carat Leo cut diamond. I think it's called the Leo. It's from like Jared. Yeah, it was from Jared's. Bro, I got tired of her ass before we ever got married. I said, oh, she's got to go. I don't even want her around here anymore. She kept the ring, bro. She kept the ring. We ain't doing none of that. We ain't doing none of that. Nah. Don't do it, bro. Morantz loves GameStop unconditionally. It's outrageous. Best college football. Thank you very much, best college football analyst in the game today. Respect. Shout out to you, Al Dog Author. I'll reread it twice. Universal Jones says, hit that like button. Rico is the man and at least deserves a like. At the very least, thank you so very much. I got 163 likes, 160 people watching. We got more likes than people watching. I'll take that all day. Shout out to those of you who quit, tapped out, and left. The acting like you knew he did roids. They're acting like you knew he did roids. Yeah, Edwin, I had no clue. If I'd known, I obviously wouldn't back the player. That's how that goes. Tom Rose, what up, Rico? Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. Shout out to you, man. Buffalo guys going to ride me outside. They're going to ride me outside. Legal Hustle King says, hit that like button in all caps. Mars Guy says, Rico is top 10, and 2 through 10th are already filled. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. I always thought I was top 2, and I ain't 2. So I feel that way. There's, if I'm not in your top 5, you're not in the know. That's how I feel. Desmond Epp says, Rico's a lock, made me a believer in 24 hours. Great week last week. Thank you so much. It was a great week. The week before was very humbling. I went 1-5. That's what people don't know. I'm 24-7, but I went 1-5 in week 0. So that means I went 23-2 in week 1. What a bounce back, bro. 23-2? Whew. To the moon. Your friends may not know, but Rico knows. He studies and really do this. He's a GOAT. Thank you, Desmond Epps. I'm the Billy GOAT. Mike Scrape says 74%, bro. Better than Vegas. The knowledge is untouchable. I can't even watch ESPN after I've watched your show for a week. I'm convinced they work for the betting companies. It's not just that they work for the betting companies, Mike Scrapes. They actually don't know the players. They don't know what they're reporting about. So they go to meetings. They get told that they just go back and forth. They just talk. It's nuts. Like, they don't even know the real storylines behind these players. They make it up as they go. And they pretend to give a shit and care. It's very bad. It's on the fly. It's not authentic. It's not genuine. There are no genuine experts on that show at all. None. Anywhere. You pick a show. There's no genuine experts on any of the shows. They're just wave tops. They're like this. They don't really know what's going on. You heard them. Even Colin Cowherd. Even Fox. Oh, tell me about Colorado. I don't really. And they're talking to another guy who doesn't know about him. I'm watching Colin Cowherd talk to Urban Meyer about Colorado. Neither one of them know the Colorado roster, the players, the coaches. And then Meyer will be like, well, I was over there, talking to Coach Prime the other day. Yeah, dude, you were there for fucking 2 hours. And you couldn't identify anybody. Well, his son looked really good. Which one? He's got 2 sons. It's outrageous. Hit the like button, folks. Thank you so much. Trying my best, though. ESPN's easy money, though. Check your account daily. You are my ESPN. Thank you so much, JT. That is the premise, right? If you're not watching my videos from the homepage every single day, you're missing everything. If you're waiting for the For You page to suggest a video to you, all you're getting are the popular videos. You're missing all the other context. You're just getting the drama, the arguing, the SEC fans who hate me. They have no clue. My favorite team is Georgia. They have no clue. If you ask my pops, man, he moved out here to Georgia with me for 2 years. You can ask him. We used to watch SEC games, and I talked about Georgia profusely. I bragged about every player on the team. I think they're the best team in the country. But their fans have chosen to hate me, and I hate them back. The feeling's mutual. I hate them and all their cousins. I mean, their wives. I hate their families. They don't know what Rico knows. Fair? Fair. I like that, Edwin Gonzalez. Keep cooking, Unc. Thank you very much, On Deck Gaming. Evolution, I believe. Hey, I believe in evolution. Shout out to me. Jeff Jensen says, don't worry about these clowns. Rico, thank you very much. Owen Patterson says, please just talk about football. We already went over this. Staff Sergeant here says, Rico, who you got? A&M or Miami? If you put a gun to my head and tell me to choose right now, I'm taking A&M to beat Miami. If I had to make a decision. But I once again told you I'm taking the under in this game. I think both teams' defenses are competitive. I just think A&M's going to have a hard time exploiting that secondary. Miami's got great NFL caliber secondary members. Shout out to Kitchens. When you guys see him, watch him. Kitchens. That's all you need to know. Kitchens. All right. L. Owen. Don't worry about it. Matthew Katai says, you don't have to justify yourself. Your work speaks for itself. Sometimes you got to hold the haters accountable, Matthew. Sometimes you do. Boss Omar, good day, sir. Rico, don't waste your time on the haters. Big Trust says, Rico, you got not a big baller. You just not a big baller. Man, my balls so big they smell. No, that's not true. I smell really good. My girl's staring at me right now. She's doing the dishes. Like, what the hell did he just say? My bad, baby. Big Trust. I'm not a big baller brand fan at all. No, I can't rock their attire. I know my limitations. What kind of shoes do I wear, sweetie? What are they called? I wear OCs. They're pretty fancy. I wear OC shoes. They're fancy as hell, but they're not your guys' stuff. They're just, they're just because I got that bread. Who's got OCs? Let me know if you guys got. I bet you guys walk past the OCs like, oh, we can't buy those. My girl bought them for me. Ryan Sanger says, I want to hear you do a show as an Army cadence. As a first sergeant, you call a lot of cadence. You lead a lot of runs. And as an NCO for the last 18 years or so, 17 years, I've definitely led a lot of cadence. Don't want to ever do it again. Left. No, I'm joking. David in Arizona. Rico, going to buy those shoes for you. Oh, they want to buy those damn space shoes for me, babe. Those things won't match anything I wear, bruh. They won't match. I got to wear shorts. You can't wear those with no pants. Walking around on them big-ass spoons? Nah, not a chance. Hey, Rico, Broke Breakfast says, hey, man, what do you think about the Cook-Horn-Garcia quarterback battle? I don't think it's a quarterback battle. I think Brady Cook is the starting quarterback. Horn didn't look good last week. He looked ill-prepared, threw a pick. Jeff Garcia is not, he's not the guy. He's not a leader. I had a kid write to me. Let me tell you. I had a kid write to me today. He says, I go to school and I got classes with Cook, Horn, and Garcia. We're all in the same classes together. He goes, the one thing that Garcia exudes is he's not a leader. Like, he's not mature. He's not the guy you want in charge of your football team. Yeah, no shit. This is a kid who went to 5 different high schools. In 4 years, he went to 5 different high schools. And then he went to Miami, and now he's transferred to Missouri. He's been to 2 different colleges in 2 years. This guy, and let me tell you what that tells me, okay? You can transfer all you want. But when you're a high school quarterback and you're transferring from school to school to school because you're a free agent, you have no camaraderie. You have no rapport with your players and your teammates. You don't even you don't even know how to build relationships. Everybody's just somebody you knew for the fall. He literally went to Grayson from October to December and then enrolled at Miami that January. That's what he did. He won a state title. He don't know any of his teammates. They don't know him like that. And then he went to Miami, and Ja'Cory Brown beat him out. Shout out to Lowndes. Toaster oven, just keeping it real. What are those? Exactly. Then those shoes are horrendous. Yep. Robert Lopez says, people are acting like you're holding them hostage. They can always find a new video that just talks football. Thank you. On Deck Gaming says, I'm dead, bro. The white ones is hard. Ugh. Pause. Rico, who you got? Don't repeat yourself. Staffs aren't never. Just be patient. Those are the Bolio shoes I got next. Shout out to you. My bad, Owen Patterson says, I'm new to the YouTube. Been following on TikTok for a while. Love what you do, and I understand the work you put in. Yeah, we got to have structure to it, Owen. It's very important that we have a monologue to weed out all of the fake fans, and then the questions get one at a time. Everything has there's like a calculated purpose to the presence and the presentation because it gets out of control. Trolls are everywhere. Kids are everywhere. And we want to weed them all out. I'd rather the show be at 163 the way it is, 63 over here, 163 over here. I'm cool with talking to 200 people a night. I don't need 250 trolls and snot-nosed kids. Yeah, I don't need that shit. Thank you, though. Thank you for being here, Owen. Skinny Ankles got next. Word. Wannabe Yeezys. Fair. Rico has the Hugh Freeze taste in athletes. Robert Lopez, I don't even know what that means. Tyler McNamee, Rico, we have different opinions on Daniels at LSU. He seems to lose his accuracy in big games, especially downfield. Does he limit the offense despite being such a gifted athlete? Thank you as always. So last season, he was sacked 34 times. You can Google check me on that. I think he was sacked 34 times last year. But he's very efficient at getting first downs with his legs, keeping plays alive when his offensive line isn't great. And I think that the LSU offensive line is not great. You need a mobile quarterback. So while everybody keeps clamoring for a quarterback change because they truly believe they have a better guy in Nuss, like for me, I don't look at it that way. I think Daniels is their guy. I think he's legitimately great. They were playing a very good team. They were playing a team. Jared Verse should have won in the NFL draft. He came back because he wanted to finish his business. He felt like he owed the team something, and he wants to be a top 5 pick. But he's too good to be at the college level. Jared Verse is so good. So that's what happened there. Don't worry about it. He didn't lose his accuracy. His receivers were dropping passes. Number 2, what's his name again? I go by jersey numbers when I watch film. I'm sorry. It'll come to me. But he dropped so many passes. They look like spaceships. They look like Black Beetle, bro. Hearing that Perkins has bad mental health issues and have also heard he pulled a gun on someone, either way, glad he's gone. Jackson Crow. I don't like rumors, especially not on my platform. But if any of that's true, I hope no other team signs him. Let me make that clear. I'll rock with those kicks with a want to see a dead body t-shirt, yo. Shout out to you, Willie Bobo. Justin Larson says, looks like whales on his feet. Johan Harrison says, Rico, I love football, but ever since I've been following you, I've learned so much. Keep the good job. Thank you so much. You know, I don't have a lot of female followers that follow me for football. Most of the women that follow me because they think I'm a good-looking man. They think I'm charismatic. They want to flirt. And then every now and then I get a female sports fan. And that's how I found Kim. Kim joined me. She started following me because I was a sports guy. That's not true. But that's why I keep her around, because she's a sports nut. But thank you for being here, Miss Harrison. I appreciate your support. Chino says, hey, Rico, just wanted to let you know that your podcast and videos add a much-needed bright spot to my day. Keep it up. Hey, thank you so much, Chino. I'm glad they don't call you Cochino. If you don't know what that is, my bad. But shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you. Mike Scrap says, already liked it. Thank you. Just switched over from TikTok. Yeah, the TikTok numbers are way down, which is awesome. That means everybody's in here from TikTok. Thank you guys for following instructions if you were on TikTok. That's impressive. I love it. Trust me, guys. I've been doing this live stream every single day since May, and we're doing it to 30 people. We're doing it to 20 people. It doesn't matter the numbers. I know my product is on point, but there was nobody here to watch it. Don't care. I'm going to keep doing it. I know I'm great. Someone will catch on. It'll happen, and that's how we get down. That's exactly what happened. Thank you guys so much. That was me, number 49. Thank you so much, Lansdowne. Appreciate it. Lil B says, Texas versus Alabama. I hope it's a great game. That's all I can give you guys about it. I'm not trying to guess at it or anything. I hope it's a great game. Initially, I told you guys Alabama would lose that game, but after week 1, they looked much sharper than Texas. Texas looked to struggle with Rice. Either Rice is really good, and we didn't realize it, or Texas isn't that good. Figure out which one it is. I hope they fix themselves. It's a big game. It might have been their trap game. They might have been looking forward to Alabama all offseason and ignoring Rice. That might be true too. You know? Just for clarification on the transfer thing, just one, not a free one, and a grad transfer. So, Robert Lopez, you get a free one. The grad transfer is also free, but the way the grad transfer works is you can enter at any time. Not that you can do multiple grad transfers. So once you do a transfer, it doesn't matter if you're a grad transfer or not. That just means you can enter the portal outside of the windows. But once you've transferred once, there's no guarantee you'll get approved for your second transfer. Your hardship transfer, that's not how it works. So yes, you will see a second grad transfer not get approved. Yes, that's the new rule. Best Info Channel. Thank you so much, Johnny Swag. I'm glad I got the info for you guys. Hey, we got 33 minutes left in the show. I apologize if I don't get to all the questions. It happens. George Blackshaw says, finally able to see it live. Loving it. Thank you, George. Nathan Hall says, love this guy. SEC. That's all me. That's what I'm known for. Adam B says, okay, I'm here, Rico. Over and under on when Joe Milton loses his job to Nico. I say 5 games. Well, you guys know what I say. Every 5-star quarterback, if you're backing up a professional, an NFL player, you redshirt. Shout out to Mac Jones, making a Bryce Young redshirt. C.J. Stroud had a redshirt because of Justin Fields. There's some more. Some other people redshirt, I'm sorry, on the 5 stars. JT Daniels. didn't redshirt, but he wasn't backing up a professional. Neither did Trevor Lawrence. He was he beat out Kelly Bryant. My point is if you're a 5-star, you either start by the end of the year or you got a redshirt. Oh, Sam Howell and Drake May. Drake May had to redshirt because Sam Howell was there. So if you're a 5-star, if you're not backing up a pro, you should win the job by the end of the year. Cade Klubnik did it. Connor Wegman did it. Dante Hall's going to do it. Rashada just did it. Look around. There's 5-star quarterbacks winning it out by the end of the year. That's what happens. So is Joe Milton going to lose it? I've never seen Joe Milton win a quarterback battle and keep his job. Ever. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lost it. But it would be nice if he kept it so Nico can keep his year and not use his eligibility. I want to see Nico play in 4 games this year. That's it. Get them likes up. Thank you, On Deck Gaming. Staff Sergeant says A&M versus Miami. Rewind the show. Evan Kramer. Florida goes 2-10 or 2-10 this year. I think I said that somewhere, Evan Kramer. I'm pretty sure I said it on a video. I have to find it. I think I made a prediction on that. Patrick B. I think I had them winning 3 games. Patrick B. says, do Jackson Dart and Ole Miss transfer impacts have enough to battle for the SEC West? I believe so, Patrick. I think they're all very good, and Lane Kiffin's a great coach. What makes the West so difficult are the coaches you're up against, right? The coaches. Just look at the coaches. Brian Kelly, Saban, Kiffin, Jimbo Fisher, and then the new coach at Mississippi State. His name escapes me right now. Starts with a D. Pause. But, yeah, it's difficult over there. Man, what's his name? I don't like that. I don't like not knowing. That's bad. That's not happening. Give me a second. I got this in the bag. Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo. Zach Arnett. Why did I say a D? Zach Arnett. We'll see what happens. My bad. A lot of names in my mind. Can you spot schools or players cheating? Not necessarily Ryan Sager. Sometimes I'll be like, that guy's on the take, but it's not like I'm looking for it. I guess I could, but I don't try to look for it. I went back and watched, who was it? Arlen Bruce IV, the kid who cheated, who bet the under on some games. I saw him muff a punt. I saw him fall down mysteriously before the end zone on one play. It made me question a lot of things he was doing. Same thing I said about Hunter Deckers. Hunter Deckers on some plays was just taking sacks he shouldn't have. He looked like a statue, immobile, staying in the pocket. It really bugged me. So there's that. Food smells delicious, babe. I don't know what you're doing over there, but you're a damn beast. My girl's cooking, and I'm getting hungry as she does it. We're going to be eating a feast during the NFL game. Rico, the SEC, man, it just means more, right? Shout out to you, TJ. Hilarious. Jason Lipe, like ripe, like pipe. My man. Good to see you, brother. Haven't seen you in a while. What you doing, Kyle? I'm an Auburn fan, and I was wondering you thought on Auburn Cal. I don't feel as good if Jarquez Hunter is suspended. Yeah, it happens. Jarquez Hunter is suspended right now, but they got other players. You shouldn't feel good, though. It's very, very comparable matchup. We'll see what happens. Good luck. And in Miami, rewind the show. Ole Miss versus Tulane thoughts. I think it'll be a shootout. Give me Tulane to win this thing. Nah, it's a shootout. Get excited. Look for a good game. Hopefully, Ole Miss pulls it out. Thoughts on the Vols. Can they beat the big names? George Blackshaw. My thoughts on the Vols are they're going to be capable of scoring against anybody. They can beat the big names because of it. Will they do it? I don't know. I don't see them having the same season they had last year. Personally, I don't. You got to have Hyatt. Who's your Hyatt? Who's your Jalen Hyatt? Like, who's your guy? Who's going deep? I just need to know. Who's stretching? They tell me DeAndre Thornton. They tell me some other names. But when I look at it, I just feel like, I don't know. I wouldn't put my money on it. That's for damn sure. Root for them all you want. Be excited for it. They can beat the big names, but will they? Look, Rico, I love you, man. Shout out to you, Willie Bobo. I appreciate you. Tony Butler. Honest evaluation of Jalen Milroe. I thought he played great the first game. I love seeing him nail the deep ball on the first throwing touchdown, but he looked at the receiver all the way. Will that work against Texas? Yeah, it'll work if he does it. If he looks all the way, completes the pass, and it's a touchdown, it works. If you have to do progression reads and look off safeties to beat Texas, then it won't work. That's the reality of the situation. I'm not going to give you guys any extra information on this that you don't already know. The best team's going to win. Whoever performs the best that day is going to win. And Jalen Milroe looked good to me. He did. Shout out to the super chat I just got. I appreciate you. T-Ray84 says, hey, Rico, quick question. Is there a specific day you can answer an NFL question or you don't at all on live? If you throw an NFL question in the chat, I typically will answer it any given day. NFL's covered every single day. It just depends what the question is. I'm going to warn you, though, I don't answer a lot of NFL questions the way you guys envision because I don't watch a lot of NFL. I play fantasy football, but I don't really support the NFL as a whole. I don't watch a lot of their games. I care about the players. I'll check on individual players. I don't care about the teams at all. If you start asking me who's going to win this game, who's winning the Super Bowl, what about my team, I don't give a flying flip about your team or what jersey these guys are wearing. I care about the individual players, their individual journey. Are they going to make it in the league? Are they getting on the active roster? How long are they going to be there? What's their contract? What's their injury? Like, I care about individuals, not teams. I hope you understand. Hope you understand that. I don't like teams at all. In any sport, really. I like the players individually. That's why I follow them from high school, and I will support you. You jump in the transfer portal, I still support you no matter what school you play at. I don't like you just because you went to my school. I like you because you're in school, right? Tony Butler. Say again, sweetie? Except for Eli Apple, he's a bum. That's coming from Kim. She doesn't like Eli Apple on any team he's on, just so we're clear. It won't work against Texas. Okay. JUCO don't pan out anymore because the transfer portal now. You used to have to go JUCO for a year and come back. Yeah, Adam B., it's 100% true. It's just, I use this analogy all the time. You're buying a used car. Where would you buy your used car from? You buy it from a certified dealer, right? You buy it from a nice, well-lit parking lot with nice facilities, and you go to the Honda dealership, the known commodities. You go to the Toyota dealership, and they have these stickers on them, and it says certified, pre-owned. It's got a Carfax print off with them, right? You trust all that shit. But do you go to Jim's Auto Sales on the edge of town? Do you go to Billy B's Auto Sales on the edge of town with a bunch of random shit and a sticker, and the dude's like, yo, just buy this and use our financing, our fly-by-night shit. You don't do that unless you're desperate. You don't do that unless you have no other options. Unless you go over there, you're like, well, I only got $5,000, man. What you got on the lot? Oh, I could let you walk away with this one right here. We just got it yesterday. Look at shiny new. It's been running great. And then you get off the lot. You're like, this shit didn't work. 1 week later, it's broken down. You got to kick it out of school, right? That's how it is with JUCOs. You want a used player, you go to the transfer portal, and you get a used player from a known commodity, a Power 5 school. You get it from a fancy school with nice, and you go talk to the coach. You talk to the previous owner. You get a nice scouting report on it. You imagine you call Buddy Stevens. You imagine you call one of these JUCO coaches. You're like, hey, man, can this guy play for me? This guy goes, oh, yeah, he's good, man. Yeah, he's awesome. Get him out of here. Take him. And he gets to your school 1 week later. He's assaulted a student. It's crazy. Stay away from it. I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm not saying they're not all dogs. Hey, Rico, there's some dogs in the JUCO. Yes, there are. There's some nice cars on those rundown lots. But per capita, you know what the deal is. This guy says, the way you say Rico knows is really catchy. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. You guys got to know, that phrase evolved over time. That phrase evolved over about the course of 200 videos being made. I was trying to find a catchy way to end my video, something ingenious. And I was saying it wrong, not saying it right, struggling to get it right, changing it every other video. I couldn't figure it out. And then I got it, and it stuck. Shout out to Adam B for the super chat. Thank you so much, bro. Okay, where's my application for a sidekick to Rico Knows? Got some info I can help you with, brother. Thank you, Adam B. All you can do is send me a DM. This is a one-man show. I don't need two people. If I was ever going to be with two people, it would be my twin brother, and I have no desire to ever do that. I'm good with who I got. Shout out to Kim Jones, my personal assistant. I just moved her from Virginia to Georgia. That was the move. That was the make. Got to consolidate the offices and keep them together. So we're now doing that, and it's a blessing. So that's where I'm at right now when it comes to assistance and help. JUCO don't pan out anymore because the transfer portal. Shout out to you. Thank you, Adam B. Agreed, Texas will beat Bama if he plays the same way. We'll see. H-Boy says, please act like Virginia was a big win for Tennessee. Virginia is literally underdogs at home against James Madison. Very true. Virginia is not a very good team. They're hapless. It's not a big win for Tennessee at all. Don't even think that way. Virginia is one of the worst Power 5 teams in America. No touchdowns. Don't know where that's from. Do you smell any cheaters this season? Gambling seems to be rampant. I don't smell any right now. Jermaine Johnson, a JUCO who panned out is what they're saying there. Shout out to Jay Earn. Thank you for the super chats, everybody. Our Gamecocks cooked because their O-line and running back woes. Shout out to Sil. I didn't see this before. I'm sorry. Can Spencer Rattler salvage his draft capital, or is he doomed? Wish we had Jaheim Bell. So, Gamecocks are cooked. Gamecocks are cooked because of their O-line and running back woes. Good news, USC doesn't play. I say USC. South Carolina doesn't play North Carolina every single week. They got some easier games. Okay, that's the reality of the situation. They got easy games. They play teams that they can easily beat. Now, can Spencer Rattler salvage his draft capital? I never thought Spencer Rattler should have had any draft capital to begin with. I got a guy who follows me. I'm forgetting who it is, but was it Prod? It's somebody. Somebody asked me for a Spencer Rattler video every single day for 4 months. I never made one because I'm not a believer in Spencer Rattler. Personally, I don't even think he has NFL potential. His draft capital, is it doomed? Remember, this is the lone quarterback coming out of high school that these recruiting websites told you was a 5-star quarterback. They said, this guy's a 5-star quarterback. And everybody believes he's a 5-star quarterback, and that's all they've ever said ever since. He's never played like a 5-star quarterback. Nothing about him says 5 stars except for those websites 4 years ago. Makes no sense to me. When we anoint these high school kids and say this is what they are, from now on, they are the 4 or 5-star kid, and that's the way it stays. That blows my mind. That blows my mind. He's not that guy. He's not a 5-star quarterback. They should have just went without a 5-star quarterback that whole year. Would have been just fine. And yes, you wish you had Jaheim Bell. Everybody does. He was second on the team in rushing. He was a great tight end, and he's good at Florida State. Morant's Rant says, I'm here. Shout out to my twin brother. Thanks for being here. Coachise Bryant reminds me of Blue Chips with Shaq and Penny. 100%. The gambling. Yep, keep up the good work. No wonder TJ Finley had a new Hellcat when he played at Auburn. No shit. No shnikes, of course. City J says, thoughts on Mizzou versus Florida, LSU, and South Carolina. So I think Missouri's better than Florida. I think they're probably better than South Carolina. I really do. I like Missouri's senior defense. They got really good defenders. Same with Mississippi State, but I don't think they can beat LSU. Flat out. Don't know what the flat out is. Great comparison. Oh, I was talking about drugs being legal and people still selling drugs, and gambling being legal, and there still being bookies. Yep. A lot of weed is legal here. Exactly. I know it's a week out, but Missouri versus KSU. Thoughts? I like KSU. That is a great analogy. I try my best, Josh B. Shout out to Broke Breakfast. Big scamming in Alabama baseball. For sure, Mike Scraps. Damn, we had to delete a lot of messages. Mike Scraps says, in the NBA, the ref just retired, so he wouldn't get investigated. I believe his last name is Donahue. Or is there Lewis? There's another one? I didn't realize that. Degenerate gamblers. There's a lot of them in the chat. What's your thoughts on Jackson Dart? I think he's very good. He's a stud. You're going to watch the Louisville game tonight? Oh, of course. The Racers? Against the Racers? Yeah, I made a prediction. I got to watch it. I don't miss any games, guys. I don't miss any games. Jalen Wilson says, hey, Rico, huge Auburn fan here. I was wondering what you think about the Cal game this weekend. Also, I appreciate the work you do, man. Jalen, I've already talked about it. Rewind it. I'm pretty excited about that game. Mike Diaz, players gambling takes away from the purity of the sport. Pure and simple. Doesn't matter if it's their game or not, their sport. Any gambling opens the door to a bad situation. Yeah, being compromised for sure. Milrood, thoughts on A&M versus Miami? Rewind the show. Thoughts on Auburn? Rewind the show. Rewind the show. Reminder, if it's not SEC related, it'll be gone. Kyron Lacey, 3 drops. 3 drop passes, number 2 for LSU. Thank you. Of course, a Billy Mapp transfer, ULL. Hey, man, don't be mad at him. Don't do it. Chat just jumped on me. Sorry, let me go back. If I missed anything, it's going to let me know. Nope, we're good. Just got to find where the chat was. Sometimes YouTube makes it jump. It's weird. Sorry about that, guys. Bear with me. Billy, Sunbelt Billy. Georgia covers no matter what the line is, just because of what he was said about Bobo last week. You say what you want. You still got to play. Player to watch in Tulane versus Ole Miss is Shedro Lewis. So, Shedro Lewis, spelled his name, I think you might have spelled his last name wrong. But shout out to you, Seth. If you spelled it right, you did. It's my bad. But Shedro Lewis is a transfer from Liberty. He was the second leading rusher at Liberty last year. He's a very good player. He's been the second leading rusher at Liberty for 3 years in a row now. Shedro just transferred to Tulane to try to alleviate the loss of Cam Carroll and Tajay Spears at running back. He's a very good running back. He's a 3-down running back. I like Shedro. When you turn on the tape, he looks good. Yeah, he's a player to watch for sure. But I'm telling you right now, Tulane's 2 wide receivers. Watch both their wide receivers. Every single down. Tennessee with the under because of running vanilla against a much smaller team and holding plays for Florida the next week. Yeah, Adam B., that could be true. You don't want to play, you don't want to show too much, and you just kind of do that. But you know what? Florida ain't even worth hiding shit from. Trent, Rico, how do you think Miami's offensive line stacks up against A&M's defensive line? Can you talk about that matchup? That matchup specifically, Miami's starting a true freshman, right, on their offensive line. What I'll tell you is defensive line, LT Overton, who's the big guy? Man, he's playing great right now. Is it not David Stone? I'm thinking of a recruit right now. Who's the other guy? He's amazing. Oh, it's escaping me right now. But my point is A&M's defensive line, probably top 5 in the country. Probably top 5 in the country. They're so physically imposing. They're on point. I think they're dominant in this game. This is why I picked the under. I think there's going to be a lot of struggle between both teams to score. Could be wrong, but that's how I feel. Dang, Middle Tennessee coming out with a strong schedule, playing 2 SEC teams back-to-back. Mad props to the Raiders. There's no props there. They're just getting paid. Come on now, Adam. They're playing Alabama and Missouri. They're just getting paid. They're not doing anything. What do I think about Louisville minus 44? I still take Louisville minus 44. Now, the spread was 42 earlier, and I said 42, and everybody started betting it, and we moved the line. Look, Rico Knows gives out a pick, and we moved the fucking line in Vegas. We moved the line on all your apps. That means you guys are putting money on the pick that I'm telling you to. That's incredible. Okay, it's incredible to have that influence on the line. But you guys are doing it. I appreciate you. I still take Louisville. I think they're going to beat the brakes off of Murray State. First off, it's a home game in Louisville. It's Jeff Brom. It's Jeff Brom at home with his brother Brian. Like they are Louisville. They got to show out tonight, and they got to look good. And in the second half, they did look good against Georgia Tech. They put up 35 points on Georgia Tech, 38 points on Georgia Tech. You know what they're going to do to Murray State, bro? It's on. Rico, what do you think of the New Mexico Lobos? Unfortunately, Lithby, you're asking about a team that plays in the group of 5. I will talk about them on Sunday. Bring that question to me on Sunday, and I will talk about them, unfortunately. Cal beats Auburn. I'm telling you, today is only SEC or a game that's on tonight. Telling you, Auburn doesn't line up well against Cal. I really like Cal. I like Cal. I'm not saying that Cal's winning the game. I just really like Cal. So let me say this to you guys. When I look at Cal, they have a dominant run game. They have a very strong secondary. Peyton Thorne brings nothing to the table. So you don't even have to worry about Peyton Thorne and the way he's passing. So the only way Auburn's scoring in this game is with their running backs. And Brian Battie, Austin, they don't have Jarquez Hunter. I feel like Cal lines up really well against Auburn. Okay? I really do. I think Finley was playing at quarterback. Sam Jackson's a better option at quarterback. I don't know who they're going to start. Finley's a transfer from North Carolina State. Shout out to him, Ryan Finley's little brother, Ben. Or the vice versa. No, Ben. But the point is Cal's got a great team, or a great coach, I should say. And they got really good transfers in the spring. I think Cal can play this game. Putting up over 50 on North Texas was really impressive, and it told me all I needed to know about their efficiency. Jaden Ott is not a joke. Good running back. Thoughts on Kyron Lacey? Stop dropping passes. I know you said minus 42, but what about 44? Nothing changes, bro. I don't change my mind on a couple points. Which is best, YouTube or TikTok? Zavon Lewis, what do you mean? So let me make this very clear. YouTube is a known commodity and it will last forever. Okay? So YouTube is trusted. TikTok is on the verge of getting banned all over the place. So YouTube is better in that regard. TikTok doesn't have some of the features, right? On YouTube, I can have my graphics, my tickers on the bottom. I got background. I got this. I got that. I can do all kinds of stuff on YouTube. On TikTok, they don't pay you for live streams. You can get gifts, but you don't get paid for your live streams. You can't put commercials on your stuff. I put commercials on this, and I get paid. So the fact that my following is so much bigger on TikTok obviously is highly advantageous to me financially. But YouTube, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's not a waste of time, I can tell you that. My YouTube is not a waste of time. I know it's early, but Missouri versus KSU, what do you think? I already been asked that. Bobby, eat a snail. I didn't ask you. Slow down. 12 minutes left, y'all. How did you calculate transfer impact? Is more numbers based on eye test? Oh, Milrud, what a great question. That's awesome, dude. So how did I calculate transfer impact? I used a formula within an Excel spreadsheet. I am a mathematically inclined person. I'm also a cyber expert, so my mind works a little different from others. So here's what I did first, Milrud. I went to the transfer portal, and instead of looking at additions like all the websites looked at additions, I didn't do that. I looked at subtractions. So instead of looking at what teams gained from the portal, I looked at what they lost. So I went to every single team, and I said, did you lose a starter? And if you lost a starter, was it a starting quarterback? Was it a starting running back, wide receiver? Because certain positions have a larger impact than others. So if you got a starting quarterback in the transfer portal, you could have improved your win total more so than just the talent at a particular position. But if you get a starting tackle, that doesn't improve your win total for your team. It's just good to get a tackle. You get what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with what you're doing there. So I identified how many starters did you lose? How many starters did you gain? For how long are they going to play? Okay, so if you got a starter, is it a graduate transfer or is it somebody that's going to be starting for the next 3 years? That's what I started assessing. And I applied metrics and numbers to all these things. So each individual transfer that committed to you was worth a certain amount of points based upon their projected productivity and contribution to your team. And then at the same time, I did a subtraction based upon what you lost in the portal. So I saw On3 did something similar, but they were still wrong. Their numbers were way off. They didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And then when I did it, I looked at all the rankings. I can remember the rankings. Dudes were arguing with me everywhere. The rankings on the websites would be like, the number one transfer portal class is so-and-so. The number one transfer portal class is so-and-so. They would do all these things. And I was like, no. Those aren't the number ones. Those aren't even in my top 20 because they don't impact the win total. A real example would be like Michigan's transfer portal class. Michigan's transfer portal class, at one point, they were saying they had the greatest transfer portal class ever. And they were listing off Josiah Stewart and Drake Nugent and Ernest Hausman and like all these different transfers. When I sat down and really assessed it, I thought, oh, that ranks like in the 40s for me. Because that doesn't change Michigan's win total. Michigan's a 12-win team. Their transfer portal class doesn't change that. It improves some positions, but it's not impactful like Texas State's or Colorado's. And that's how I did my math. That's how I did my metrics. So I looked at how many seasons are you contributing? What positions do you play? Are you a starter? Are you just added depth? And then when I did my departures, same thing. Were you just departing? Were you just not in the too deep? That doesn't hurt the team. That's fine. Get the hell out of here, right? Your departure doesn't hurt. And that's how I did my metric. And I kept fumbling with it and doing things. I got really extravagant with it, but it really paid off. Thank you for caring. It really paid off. Thanks for the question, Milrud. That's awesome. Thanks for caring about that. Broke Breakfast says, how does the process of evaluating transfers differ from evaluating high school kids? One glaring difference is all these high school kids that they're giving stars to, the recruiting websites don't ever want to be wrong. So they're going to give a guy 5 stars, and when he doesn't pan out and they let him transfer, they still keep him at 4 or 5 stars. And then a 3-star kid, they're never wrong. At worst, they're going to make him a 4-star. I mean, at best, they're going to make him a 4-star. But everybody by default's a 3-star. You could be a 0-star kid, and then they'll go, oh, well, he was a 3-star kid after all. We messed up. When I assess transfers, I don't give a shit about stars. I didn't look at stars at all. I looked at, did you lose productivity? Did you lose somebody who played and made tackles and got yards? And if so, how much? What percentage of the team? What were they going to get the next few years? I project what they would have gotten if they would have stayed at that school. And when you do it like that and you look at the players for what they're contributing to the team, you're just so much more accurate. At the same time, like I want you to think of Alton McCaskill IV. He's a 900-yard rusher, 16 touchdowns his freshman year at Houston. And he set the conference, he led the conference in touchdowns. But he's a 3-star kid coming out of high school. So the recruiting websites don't want to be wrong. They're going to go out there and give their rating, and they're like, oh, well, he's transferring to Colorado. They got themselves a 3-star running back. Really? They got themselves a 900-yard rusher and 16 touchdowns. You don't know what you're talking about, right? When they started identifying who were the best quarterbacks in the portal, transfers, they put Will Howard in the top 5 because he's a 4-star quarterback, and he left LSU to go to Ole Miss. So they give Will Howard 4 stars, and they're bragging about it. And I'm going, he's not going to play a single down. Why would you give him 4 stars? He's not going to ever play. What are you doing? That's not impactful. Excuse me. I got to sneeze. Thank you. Rico, bless you. We got 6 minutes left. So that's how you evaluate it differently from the high school is I actually look at production, right? When you start looking at transfer portal players, it's who can actually play the game. Hudson Card transferring to Purdue is a starting quarterback. He should never be ranked below any recruit. He actually plays, right? Brian Battie was an 1,100-yard rusher at South Florida. He should not be behind any recruit. But there he was, ranked behind recruits because he's a 3-star kid. But he's at Auburn. People don't understand what they're doing. You think Alabama will play better on offense or defense? Their defense is the heart of that team. So yes, sir, you got the sauce. Thank you so much, On Deck Gaming. Jalen Wilson said, thoughts on Auburn's quarterback situation? They don't have a quarterback situation. They just got a guy they brought in Thorne, and they gave him the rock and let him do his thing. Blake Saratin says, what are the weaknesses on the Arkansas roster? No wide receivers of note. They did get the 6'7" transfer from Bowling Green. Not Burden. Forget his name right now. It'll come to me. But he's 6'7". The fact that I can remember his height and not his damn name is bugging me right now. But, yeah, Arkansas's receivers are a problem. Love their linebackers. Can Florida turn the program back around or need to clean house in the staff? They just need to keep recruiting, be patient. They don't have it right now. They don't need to clean house. That just hits the reset button again and again and again, and you never get on your feet at that point. Rico, does Georgia cover versus Ball State, and do they have a sleeper game versus Carolina week 3? I don't know about any of those questions. I stay away from that. You don't have to be betting on Georgia. You don't have to bet on every single game. Stay away from it. Just stay away from it all. Let them play their game and let them do their thing. I don't think they're going to have a problem with Carolina. Rico, what are your top matchups in the UT-Bama game that I should concentrate on, which will influence the outcome of the game? UT's wide receivers versus Alabama's DBs. UT's only scoring in the air. Their wide receivers need to beat those defensive backs. Take advantage. Attack Caleb Downs. He hasn't played any college football, really, and he's a true freshman starter, right? So attack some guys out there who haven't played in big games. Use Xavier Worthy. Use A.D. Mitchell. Like do your thing, but it's going to be receivers versus DBs on that side of the ball. Furman's a pretty good FCS team. Should USC be worried? South Carolina? No. That's BC. That's because Georgia doesn't play a real SEC schedule, though. It's like Louisville's ACC schedule. No, I don't want to hear it. You guys give all those teams get credit. All those teams talk shit. All those teams say they're the SEC. They chant SEC like everybody else. I don't want to hear any excuses. Reminder, non-SEC questions will be deleted. Thank you very much. Tulane to cover the 7. That would be a sneaky pick. That would be more power to you. I'm not doing it. I told you guys, I'm not doing it. What did you think of Xavier? Xavier looked good. Noticed him on many plays against UNC. He looked like a dog even without the haul. So remember, North Carolina's DBs are terrible. They lost Dre Bly to the Lions as a coach. They lost 5 to 6 defensive backs in the transfer portal. North Carolina, the only defensive back that I know of note that I would even talk about is Elijah Huzzy, the transfer coming in from East Tennessee State. So I don't think that Xavier Leggett is like great. It's just North Carolina's DBs were trash, if you ask me. College football, Rico, of Arizona, Cal, or Miami, which team has the best chance of beating their SEC opponent? I would, in my order, I would go Cal, Arizona, Miami. That's the order I'd put it in. Cal has the best chance, Arizona second, Miami third. Yeah, bands in the upper deck. Bama being petty as always, for sure. Juan Gutierrez says, can Florida get upset by McNeese? No, they will not be upset by McNeese. McNeese actually loses a lot of their players to Marshall. There's a pipeline for McNeese best players to go to Marshall, and McNeese lost a lot of talent in the transfer portal. They do have good players. I like them. They're actually fun to watch, and I've watched a lot of their players because when they transfer to the FBS level, I got to go back and watch their tape. They're a good team to watch. Shout out to Louisiana. Forget firing Napier. How liable is the AD for his decision-making dismissing Dan Mullen? Well, Dan Mullen's recruits are all gone. So maybe Dan Mullen was the issue. His team is gone. 2021 recruits are not there anymore. I got issue with Dan Mullen's recruits. They didn't give him enough time. I get it. But anything's possible. We can fire everybody. Key is dealing with an injury. My bad. I thought it was a transfer thing. No, that's unfortunate. I hope he's better. Track, Rico, your story on Femke Bowl was phenomenal. Gave me chills. Thanks for that. Props. J-Lo, thank you for watching my track stuff. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Real Cowboy says, is Georgia still good enough to take the SEC and a shot at the national title? Definitely. They're playing in it. They're playing in the conference, and they're doing their thing. Same transfer injured last game for Bama. There you go. My bad. Alabama. Was LSU that bad or just a bad matchup? Hey, Florida State's just that good. Okay? Just that good. I'm going to double check to see if there's any super chats here. I apologize if I didn't read them. If you didn't get, shout out to Digital Jarrett's. Thanks for being here, brother, and thanks for the $3. If you didn't get your question answered, we cap all shows at 2 hours. You got to get here sooner, guys. That's all there is to it. We tell you to jump in the chat before the show if you want your question answered. That's all it takes. Get here sooner. Is there a specific day you answer questions? Yes, there is. Where's my application? Shout out to you. Sorry, guys. I love everybody. Appreciate you guys make my life possible. Kim and I are going to enjoy dinner. Never forget, your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.
I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean and no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you. I do this for my father, who I've only seen from time to time in my dreams. I do this for you. I do this for my mother, who's finally clean, no longer a fan. I do this for you. I do this for my sister, my wife and my kids, cause they part of the team. I do this for all the naysayers and haters who made me one of the greatest. I know it kills you inside, that's why I do this for you.
I do this for the kids who sit a bit outside the mix, who maybe cope through humor just to fit in for a bit, who never let the world know when depression's setting in. To all of those who know you, that impression don't exist, and it ain't counterfeit, it's just a way to counter it. I'm living things I dreamed about, I still encounter it. It ain't something that a cigarette or alcohol can fix, but all because of it I flipped it quick, went on to write some hits. This a success, off another breath. This the first